students, this is Lata Narwani from Mount Litra Z School, Jhansi. Children, today we'll be doing lesson how do organisms reproduce. So, what is reproduction? The process of producing young ones of its own kind is called reproduction. It is necessary for the continuation of a race. Modes of reproduction. There are two modes of reproduction, asexual and sexual mode of reproduction. What is asexual reproduction? Reproduction in which a single individual is involved is called asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction, reproduction in which two individuals of opposite sexes are involved is called sexual reproduction. Now first today we'll be studying asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction occurs generally in lower organisms like amoeba, hydra, yeast, etc. The various methods of asexual reproduction are as follows. First, fission. Second, fragmentation. Third, regeneration. Fourth, budding. Fifth, spore formation. So, one by one, we'll study these asexual modes. First is fission. This mode occurs in unicellular organisms like amoeba, paramecium, euglena, etc. It occurs in two ways. First is binary fission and second is multiple fission. Binary fission. When a cell divides into two daughter cells, it is called binary fission. Here the diagram of amoeba is shown. Amoeba cell, first the nucleus elongates, it stretches itself, then divides into two parts, and then cytoplasm also divides into two parts, giving rise to two daughter cells. Leishmania also reproduces by binary fission. Second type of fission is multiple fission. If a cell divides into many daughter cells in a time or at once, then the method is called multiple fission. For example, Plasmodium vivax. This is malaria causing organism. Plasmodium is a unicellular organism and it reproduces by giving rise to many daughter cells at a time. The diagram is shown here. Next method is fragmentation. This mode of reproduction occurs in simple multicellular organisms. For example, Spirogyra. It is a multicellular algae in which one cell is laid over the other and forms filaments. The diagram is shown here. One filament of Spirogyra divides into two parts and each part acts as a new individual. In Spirogyra, the filament breaks up on its own into many small pieces. Each piece or fragment can lead into independent life like an original filament. Third method is regeneration. Certain multicellular organisms such as hydra and planaria are capable of developing new individuals if their body is cut into many pieces. The ability of the organism to replace or develop the lost part by cell division is called regeneration. The diagram of planaria is shown here. Cut into many parts and each part behaves as a new individual. Fourth method is budding. In this method, a small bud is developed from the parent body which keeps on growing, and after some time the bud detaches from parent body and grows into a new individual. Here is the diagram to show budding in hydra. A small bud is formed in the parent body which starts growing, becomes bigger and bigger, and ultimately it detaches from the parent body and acts as a new individual. This is the diagram for budding in yeast. Budding in hydra and budding in yeast are very different. In case of yeast, the new buds which arise from the parent body after growing do not detach, but they are intact with the parent body. So a chain of buds is formed. Spore formation. Next method is spore formation. Certain organisms reproduce through spore formation. Spores are thick walled, microscopic structures capable of surviving under extreme environmental conditions such as dryness and heat. On getting favorable conditions such as moisture and proper temperature, they grow into new individuals. Examples of this method are fungi. Fungi are the organisms which grow on decaying organic matter like bread, fruits, vegetables, etc. For example, Rhizopus, which is bread mold. Rhizopus grows on decaying bread as white cottony mass. The long thin threads in the mass are called hyphae. Some hyphae give to a blob-like structure on the top, which is called sporangiophores, which have chambers called sporangium. Sporangium have spores, which are reproductive structures that give rise to new plants under favorable conditions. The diagram is shown here. Spore formation in Rhizopus. We can see blob-like structures or sporangium inside which there are spores which come out during favorable conditions and give rise to new individuals, and below we can see small roots or rhizoids. So this is the diagram of spore formation in Rhizopus. So children, this is all for today. Thank you.